So, good morning, dudes. Or good afternoon, or good evening. I don't know where you live, so know that I greeted you. So today we're just gonna be tinkering with Windows 10. So today we're gonna be reformatting, creating a bootable device, and checking the specs. So to reformat a computer, you're gonna need a bootable device, and to get the right type of bootable device, you're gonna need to check your specs. That's why we have those three main topics. We'll start with the easiest because you save the best for last, and it's also the hardest. So I want you to go to your taskbar, search on run, or you can hit Windows R, and you're gonna type in DX Diag. This is short for DirectX Diagnostics. I don't know, they're lazy at Microsoft, and that is a typo. So the X diag. So it should be pretty straightforward. See this bar. It's still scanning stuff. And this is pretty much your main specifications, the simple ones. So we have our current date and time, computer name, operating system, language, system manufacturer, blah blah blah. So our processor here is a AMD Ryzen 3 2200G. This thing is old. Send money, guys. Second gen in 2025. Anyways, our main thing here is the operating system, right? To create the right bootable device, you're gonna need to check on your Windows type. So our Windows type here is a 64-bit system, and it's a Windows 10 Pro. So now our bootable device should be 64-bit. That's all you have to check. Don't tinker with all this stuff in your display. This is also where you can find your display, obviously. So that's all for this checking of specs. We'll move on later to the bootable device. So we're back, and to create a bootable device, you're gonna need a flash drive, typically around 8 GB. This to create a bootable device, probably around 4 GB is needed, but I'm recommending you 8 GB so the flash drive can have some air space to breathe, you know? You don't want to strangle it. So you're gonna go into your file explorer to this PC, and then I'm just gonna plug in my flash drive.
10 seconds later.
It's already a bootable device since I tested it earlier, but to really ensure that this is gonna work, right, the first step is you're gonna format it. We are, obviously. So you're gonna right click on your flash drive, click on format, click on restore defaults, and then label it all you want. And then keep everything as it is and click on start. It's gonna give you this warning. Click on OK. I am not responsible for any damages. This is awkward. There we go. Alright, so the format is complete. You can see that this thing is completely empty. And since earlier we already checked our specs, we can move on to the next step, which is to open Rufus. Alright, we're back. So our next step is you're gonna need your Windows ISO and this app called Rufus. It's a third-party app. It's used to burn or mount ISO files. Since earlier we saw that our specs or our Windows type is 64-bit, we're gonna click on 64-bit. If your system is 32-bit, you're gonna make a 32-bit bootable device. So obviously we're gonna go with 64 here. So as you can see, we have two things here. It is the ISO file of Windows and Rufus, guys. So let's open Rufus. Just click on yes. So let's start from the top. So the top here we have our device. This is our flash drive earlier. it should automatically detect it. If not, then it's either your flash drive is corrupted or it's not working, okay? But it should automatically detect a flash drive. It is programmed to do that. So we're just gonna select our Windows ISO over here. So double click it or click open. So give it some time. Now here we go. All this stuff, you're gonna keep this on all on the defaults. Okay, do not click anything. The file system, cluster size, keep it as is. The only thing we're gonna be changing here is the volume label. Even this is optional, but I'm gonna rename it. Give me a minute. Alright, took me long enough. As you can see, that is my desired name. Alright, so of course I'm gonna put it. If the status is now ready, then it's good to go. This is the long part. Just wait for it to go on 100%. I'm gonna start it, and yeah, just click on OK, and it's gonna delete all the files like I said earlier, but we already deleted all the files earlier ourselves, so we can click on OK to go forward. Very nice. So just wait for this bar to be filled 100%, and I'll see you later. I'm gonna go grab a snack, maybe even take a bath. Might take a while. I stink.
12 o'clock midnight.
Finally. So it's finally done, guys, and very nice. So it's filled to the brim. It's fully green. We can now click on close. Do not click start. It's gonna redo the whole process. It's gonna take like another couple minutes, even an hour. So please don't click on start. So now we can go to this PC. You can see that now the flash drive has some files in it, which is the boot files. Therefore, it is now a bootable device. Has the setup, the boot folder, whatnot. You don't have to look at all of them. So that's it. Do take note that you cannot use this as a regular flash drive now. It is now a bootable device and it stays as a bootable device. You can't copy files into it, you cannot cut files into it, you cannot take files into it, more importantly, because there is a risk that the whole drive just corrupts, and you wouldn't want that, right? Unless you want to redo the whole process. It's your time, so it's your choice to waste it, but that's it. You have a bootable device now, and we can move on to reformatting. And this is the hardest part, if you were to say, but pretty straightforward part. Let's move on, people. So what's up, guys? I'm currently editing this whole video, and just a disclaimer to you guys that the next few scenes are gonna be recorded, or were recorded IRL, and with this it might seem confusing since the screen is a little farther, but I am doing my best to explain what I'm doing in these voiceovers. So if you feel confused, you can always replay this. And just a quick reminder that reformatting is your last ditch, okay? It's your last plan, so use this as your last straw, okay? Remember this. Don't, this is your last trick up your sleeve, so don't use this as a first option. Reformatting is always your last, okay? Remember that. And I also forgot to mention this, but I did record how to partition your drive, and I wouldn't want those clips to be wasted. So yeah, more topics, guys, more tutorials, more teachings, and yeah, this is me signing off. So first step, or first things first, is we have to back up our files. So as you can see right now, I am backing up my files here using Google Drive. It's either you back up all your files if you're that rich and have that amount of cloud storage, or you're like me, a broke boy that is using 15 GB worth of cloud storage and can only back up the important ones. So it's up to you really. Just make sure your files are backed up. Okay, so to partition your drive, you're gonna go on this Windows search bar and type in partition and open that app, and right click on the drive you want to partition and hit shrink volume. So this might show on your screen, just let it load. I completely forgot to record those steps, so my apologies, people. Then it's gonna ask how much storage you want to partition from your drive and enter that and wait for it to load. The speed is depending on how fast or how slow your laptop or computer is. And boom, background change. It's gonna show you this unallocated storage. Once it's done, you can right click on that to open the new simple volume wizard, and then you can check if it's right. You can go on next, and then you can pick what letter you want, and then you can click on next if you're done, and check all of these. But you really just have to change the name to whatever you want. I picked this because why not? And it's gonna show the summary of what the options are, and then you can click on finish. It's gonna create a new partition, and once you go to File Explorer and then into this PC, you now have a new partition. So that's how you partition your drive. So we're now to the reformatting part of this video. Finally, so plug in your bootable device that you have created and boot up your computer into your BIOS. With this, you should spam F1, escape, F2, F10, and delete. So your PC should boot into the BIOS, and you should head over to the boot priority and prioritize your bootable device by dragging it on top. You can click on save and reset, and your laptop should restart by itself and open up to our next step. So after your laptop has restarted, it should boot up into this Windows configuration setup thing, and you're just gonna select if you want to change this, but if not, you can click on next. You can repair your computer here, but since we're here to reformat, let's click on install now. It should say setup is starting. Just wait for this to load and head on to the next step. Alright, so it should show the license terms of Microsoft. This is the first part, so you can read all of this if you have all the time in the world, but if not, just scroll through it and click on accept, and you can go to next. It's either you upgrade or you do a custom install. Today we are going to do a custom install of Windows, so click on that. It's going to show you all the drives in this whole system. Since we're going to be reformatting, we're going to be deleting all of them until there's only the drive where it says unallocated space. So this is me deleting them. Okay, so I've deleted everything. It should show drive 0 here, which is unallocated space. You're gonna click on that, put on new, and type in how much megabytes you're gonna want. It is recommended for Windows 10 to do 150 GB, so that's what I did here, 150,000 megabytes, and the laptop should do that. And then you're gonna go to the primary drive and not the recovery drive, but the primary drive, and install Windows 10 there. So this is the whole Windows 10 installation process. Just wait for it to check all of these texts here. It's basically what Windows 10 needs to boot up and to function. So just wait for this. So here it's finally done. It has checked all of the text and whatnot, and it's now gonna restart itself. It's counting down from 10 seconds. I could have hit restart now, but I didn't for some reason. So just wait for it to restart, and it should boot up to something later. So after restarting, it should boot up into this. It's gonna let you select what region you're from. I'm from the Philippines, so I'm gonna click on Philippines here. Pinoy Pride, baby. It's on alphabetical, so it shouldn't take long. Unless you're me. It took a whole 30 seconds, I think, but I finally found Philippines. You can click on next. I'm gonna say just a moment. It's gonna load in. Your keyboard layout. You can click on yes. I'm gonna skip this for now. You can add yours if you want, but same for the network here. I'm gonna skip it for now since there's no available network. And I'm just gonna type in my name. Hold on, give me a minute here. Alright, so after typing in your name, it's gonna ask you to create a super memorable password. So I just clicked on 4 letters here to speed up the process, but yeah, you can click on next after that. It's gonna ask you to confirm your password just to avoid typos, and then security questions, just answer these, put some answers on these. It's gonna ask you this when you boot up your laptop, and it does take a while to boot up, but it's a requirement for Windows 10, so we have to add some questions into it. Alright, so once you've done all the requirements for Windows, it's gonna show you the privacy settings for your device. You can click on next if you want. It's gonna say hi. You can say hello, but you're gonna look like you're talking to your laptop, so I don't recommend you doing that. But it's just gonna get everything ready for you, and like it said, it's gonna take several minutes, so just wait for it to load, and we will be right back, people. So after those several minutes, you are finally done, guys. You have successfully reformatted your computer. Oh, I forgot to hit cut, but congratulations! You thought it was over, didn't you? Well, there's a couple more steps. Go to the bottom right of your Windows, right click on the drive, and click on eject. And then you can safely plug out your bootable device, and finally, you're done. Congratulations. Get me out.